You probably already know Election Day is a week from today, but there's also a contentious vote with a familiar option out in Pittsburg County for a major school bond measure. 2 News Oklahoma's Samson Tamajani is in Indianola with the school improvements voters will consider a second time.
It's the second time in 7 months the Indianola community will decide between spending an extra almost $5 a month on property taxes and just keeping the same old at its only public school campus.
Obviously, I was disappointed in it last time. We didn't have very many voters show up in general.
Superintendent Peery admits her Class 2A district's campaign to modernize much of its century-old campus didn't exactly strike a unified response when I first reported on it back in April.
They should know right now is not a good time for that huge of a bond.
How huge? $8.7 million funded over about 15 years to these academic and logistical upgrades. 8 total new classrooms, 2 designed for STEM courses and doubling as emergency shelters connected to the main buildings. It would also move the playground and shelter the walkway for students and staff over to the cafeteria. I asked the second-year superintendent why the bond is put to a vote again after the April election ended with a 16-point defeat.
If we don't start looking towards the future, we're going to have some major repairs to do. And it'll make it difficult.
What would those repairs look like?
So we've already added some electricity into the main high school building, but all of that is outside of the walls. None of it meets code. We don't meet fire code. We don't meet handicap accessibility codes.
The superintendent is quick to point out the only emergency shelter on campus is across the street at the competition gym, which already is hard to fit everyone, she tells me. And the only accessible bathroom for those with disabilities also across the street.
We're all for getting the kids a good, safe room, a storm shelter, but we want it to be done responsibly.
Frances Doughton's grandkids attend the school, but says even voters with personal ties like her aren't ready to foot the bill.
I just think they need to tighten their belt like the rest of us, ask for less, go back to the drawing board and downsize it some.
We built a gym a few years ago, was obviously needed.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's all we've built since I've been here for 27 years.
Longtime FFA teacher Jerry Hamilton suggests those not yet on board should do some more homework.
I really think this community will stand up and do what needs to be done here and support this.
Voting on all candidates and measures here, just like the rest of the Sooner State, begins Wednesday. In Indianola, Samson Tamajani, 2 News, Oklahoma.
The April 2nd bond vote failed 57% to 42%. You can find out where to vote early in your county and on Election Day by going to kjrh.com and clicking on Elections.